was like,
I was gonna say yeah.
Sorry,
Deja
I
vu.
told you that. Anyways, now that we're past that awkwardness, which I really wish we could edit out, but we can't.
Krug, how was your week this week?
My week was awesome. First of all, level 49 in WildStar. What?
Bullshit.
Which is great. That's great. Something really, really interesting happened to me this week, and I'm really upset that it happened the way it did. I'll just start explaining it now. I do this thing when I win auctions or when my auctions succeed and I get money from auctions. I go to my mailbox after I have a bunch of things in there, and I click the select all button, and then I click take all, and I click that same button again, click delete all, and just boop, done, and then I leave. I did that a couple days ago, and I'm going, my items are going, and my little loot notification add-on, which puts a big ol' icon on my screen after I get an item that is of certain rarity, came up with an orange little, like, bar indicating an artifact level item, and I was like, huh? I don't even have that much money. And so I go through my inventory, and lo and behold, in my inventory is a white die. So somebody sent me a white die.
What?
I have no idea who it was.
Whoa, you mean supernova white?
Yup.
Oh, so jealous.
I had already deleted that message, so I have no idea who did it.
Oh
So,
my God.
if
I'm
you're
waiting for
listening,
anyone to take credit for it.
if you're listening, please tell me so that I can thank you, because that's really nice. But I didn't know. I don't look through my mail and just use it as a tool and then delete them immediately. And I didn't.
That's
see.
how much he cares. That's how much he really cares.
No one's ever sent me a legitimate mail in my life. The only time I've gotten mail from other players is when Indigo, like, I say, hey, Indigo, can you send me X, Y, and Z over the mail? And then he does it while I'm on vent with him. So it's just kind of my thing. Moose, it wasn't you. And I've already used it, so you're not getting it back. It's in my, like, it's already on my
Moose had
person.
white dye. He wouldn't give it to anybody. He'd be running around Thade, freaking out, like, oh my God, white dye!
Just hold his hands. I got it.
So, if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. I mean, it wasn't your choice to become anonymous at this point, because I just don't know your name. But that's fine. Whoever you are, thank you very much. That was very kind, and I don't know how I could ever possibly pay you back for that. And if you want me to give you a shout out on the podcast, I gladly will. Just send me a message in the good old WildStars or in the good old emails. I'm at Krug@Queuetimes.com. So yeah, just get in touch. That was my week. It was good.
That's super cool.
It was super cool.
Indigo, how was your week this week?
Well, I became an official Californian this week. I
Smoked pot.
not only did I find out that my small chihuahua is a vegetarian because he's allergic to all meat.
Wait, sorry.
Yes.
Continue. I'll come back to that point.
I also took a 5K race along the beach, did 90 minutes of yoga on the beach, and did a meditation thing. And that is why this face is completely red.
That is probably the most pretentious set of things you could have possibly done together.
That's the I'm a Californian thing ever.
It was a hippie triathlon.
Oh, I hate you so much.
I didn't name it, all right? I didn't name it. I just did it, all right?
Fair enough, whatever.
But in my defense, yoga pants everywhere. That's my one defense. And I've been leveling with a crew quite a bit. Well, as much as I possibly can. I'm super busy, and if you can tell, I'm not at home. I'm actually at work still. So
your boss is gonna listen to this and go, really?
I'll have words if he gives him crap about that. Because Indigo is supposed to leave work at noon, and it's currently 5. So
on a Sunday.
Yeah. So that was my week, and as my week continues to be a hot, hellish week. So there you go.
What you did was more Californian than I've done in my entire life in this state.
Although your hat that you're currently wearing is probably the most Californian hat I've ever seen. So
it's the most Cuban hat I've ever seen because it's fucking awesome. Because that's what I am. I'm awesome. Anyway.
How's your week?
How was my week? My week was frustrating. I won't go into super specifics on it. I didn't get to play a whole lot of games in general. I'm just glad that it's Sunday. A new week is starting. We got news to go through. My awesome hat is awesome because I'm awesome. I love hats, if you haven't noticed. Because I got a big-ass head.
It's super dapper.
You
Thank
should
you very much.
play Team
You're
Fortress
welcome.
2.
No, I won't.
Get it? Because that's the only thing about that game that really
all the
means
hats,
anything.
all the hats ever. But yeah, the hat. I have a giant head, so it's hard to find hats, and I'm definitely willing to splurge on amazing hats because they fit and they feel better and they feel awesome. That's my week this week. We're gonna go right into the strange tales of the week, and there's not a bunch of crazy awesome news. I think the general consensus and rumors are that we're going to be seeing some really cool stuff in the next week or so. But we have some fun community stuff that's happened this past week. And I believe one of them sparked by Doom Kitty herself.
Yes.
What happened, Doom Kitty?
Yeah, where did the tea set start? Let's just start with that.
Okay, I love tea, and I love WildStar, and I love housing, and I've been wanting a tea set, decor item. Like, I've been obsessed with asking for a tea set. I thought it would be awesome. You know, it totally ties in with the Orin lore, the whole kind of tea culture. Plus, I think it would be really neat. We've got the little Alice in Wonderland secret cave in Celestion. It makes sense. And I'm like, why don't we have this yet? I've tried.
Was there a tea set in that area, or was it something else?
In Celestion, if you eat the mushroom and you get really tiny and you go under the thing, you get the Jabbit Hole achievement. And if you have an explorer with you, you can get into a secret room where there's a Mad Hatter tea party going on.
Yep.
Yeah, wasn't that like an item you get from that?
You get an item if you get there's a box. You get a cup of tea, which honestly looks like a coffee mug.
Oh, never mind.
And a purple mushroom. But we don't have a tea set, and I've been like trying to make a tea set forever out of the decor items, but none of them scale small enough. Why don't we have this? So I thought, why not just look for ideas? And of course, I'm on Pinterest and I'm doing all kinds of things in my own artwork, and came up with the idea of what would different racial tea sets look like. So I just started going online and found the leaf-shaped ones that looked very Orin, found a medical-themed cocktail set that reminded me of the Mordesh, started sharing this with people, and then it just sort of like exploded.
Yeah, so here's what I think is the
Exploded's an understatement.
Original one currently in the stream with these like adorable flower pot things and stuff like that for R and Mordish and stuff like that, and it's awesome. And then there are just so many more, so I just picked a couple of them. Behalter posted one with this like really creepy spiky looking thing where that would be for the Osin. Somebody by the name of Ryan Reynolds, I'm pretty sure it's not the actual Ryan Reynolds, posted the caretaker needs tea too, and then there's a holographic teapot. I really want to know what context this is because it looks like a real holographic teapot, but that one was really cool. Somebody named Aaron Jackson, posted, "Oh my god, Ithacans, this is becoming an obsession now, lol." And they posted what could very well be an Ithacan teapot. It looks like seaweed,
Fishbowl,
like really kind of weird seaweed stuff.
No, these are all from the 27th of April. If you gotta go searching through tweets, we'll try and find some links to them and put in the description.
Yeah,
we have some on. Sweet. I always thought maybe not everybody had to drink tea. I know it's tea tied with the Orins. I would have figured that Chua would have had like just coffee mugs, just straight Java, just injected into their veins or something more than tea. But that's just me.
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting and random, like, just the community came together over tea, and it was beautiful.
Also, I just want to say this. Clear your notifications. That's bugging the hell out of me.
Nope. Just to troll you now, buddy.
Yeah. How do you go through life with all those little numbers up in the corner? It freaks me out on my phone when I see more than just one on there.
I'm currently busy, and there were 2 notifications, guys. You're blowing this a little out of proportion.
This is ridiculous. That's blowing out of proportion. So we're going to move on from that. And there's been some really cool stuff going on. You know how last week we were told that there was rumors of WildStar Core coming back? And unfortunately,
Yes.
Ready Check took a bow out from the scene?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, we were right. WildStar Core is back with not 1, but 2 articles to get everybody back into the drop 5 hype. I hate using that phrase. I really do. Hype is such a weird phrase
Get
to
on the
use.
train. Get on the train, Doc.
I refuse to jump on the train.
Get on the train.
No train for me. I'm professional. I need to be able to be unbiased. That being said, so we're gonna post some links to WildStar Core. The first one is going to be from, actually both are from Kelzam. They're talking about the first one being the Hollow Wardrobe and going more in depth into it since it's actually working now on PTR. He's actually able to get screenshots and show you how it works. And what it's basically doing is it's making all of your costumes. How many slots do you get now? It's like 30 some odd, or no, 200 or 350 individual pieces you can save in the Hollow Wardrobe.
The current number is 350.
Yeah.
And all of those items are going to be cross-class.
Unless otherwise restricted.
Path.
Yeah.
So if you have a stalker with PvP gear, your spellslinger can wear that stuff as a costume. And your warrior raid gear can be worn by your esper, and it's going to be all over the place, and it's going to be freaking awesome.
I know there are stipulations. I believe that the dyes are still for character specifics, so you can't use that supernova white across all your characters' crew. You can only use it on the one character that unlocked it.
Boo.
And you are actually locked with your path costumes, so you cannot have a non-explorer wearing an explorer costume. And there are
Really?
certain from what I was told, that's the case currently. That might change, but as far as I've been told, that the path costumes are specifically rewards for those in the path.
Okay, I'd heard that there was that they were working on being able to allow cross path for costuming.
I think that might be to go with the community, because the community's been asking that very much. Like, I want to be able to wear the warrior hat with like my scientist pants and that kind of stuff. So they might be changing that part. Last I heard, that was the case. Another one being specific stuff that's locked by faction, like the Exile Commander gear and the Dominion Commander gear. You will not be able to have those on the cross faction.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's, other than that, though, 350 pieces do whatever you want. You don't even have to keep the piece once it's put in the Hollow Wardrobe. Once it's in the Hollow Wardrobe, you can sell it off.
Or salvage it.
Or salvage it, which is probably a better idea. So they're
Seriously,
in the
salvage everything in this game.
You know how much bank space is going to free up, because now there's no need to hold on to 12 pairs of booty shorts just in case you might run out.
And honestly, that's my favorite part of this. Is I hated
Booty
keeping track of all of my. No, not booty shorts. I love booty shorts. And no, I'm not being misogynistic. I love the way they feel on my body. Okay, leave me alone.
Now, why don't we have booty short skins for the male characters?
I've said this multiple times, actually.
This was one of our very first episodes. We talked about discrepancies in armors between genders, just because we were being like pretentious douchebags.
Quedlin Winseed did point out to me that actually the path costumes, they're not locked if you have the same path for characters. So if you have 3 explorers, you can share those costumes between all explorers. And yes, male characters could use some booty shorts. I mean, they'd look pretty cool. I think my favorite part is the fact that a lot of the female armor pieces in this game, actually the male and female, like the Malgrave male armor, the light armor, you're pretty much just like topless. It's just a waistband. And then I remember the reason I liked my female warriors so much is that when I wanted her to look like a giant juggernaut of death, she was a giant ass juggernaut of death, and I've yet to give her any kind of like really sultry pieces of armor on her for costumes, because to me that character never felt like it needed it. Which is part of the fun part about this game, is that your men can be just as objectified with their bare deltoids than the women being with booty shorts.
Wow. And that's why Granok men need booty shorts.
Oh,
we need to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
Just like the 70s track runner with we need like a sweatband thing with the
oh my god, yes.
Like top t-shirt.
You know what else we need? Okay. we need them, and we need to like get people to petition Carboyne to beg for this to happen. We need an intimidating cigar head costume piece.
Yes. See,
how awesome would that be? What helmet are you wearing? Intimidating cigar.
Yeah, I mean, they have
a big stogie sticking out of the guy's mouth. That would be so awesome.
I would wear that as my hat with every costume.
I know, right?
Hands down.
How many Granok women would look amazing with that?
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Answers all.
Now I kind of
I have a female. I have to level her. I have a female Granok warrior. Her name is Bam Greer.
I like that one. I'm not that clever with names.
I'm sorry. What's your stalker's name?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's Senpai Fleas, but it's not as.
Okay,
I'll never get over how. Never mind. Nope. Just
how creepy
nope.
that name is. That's the point. When I go into PvP, just get 2 stickers right in your bum. Senpai, please, in the back.
Granok dudes are hot, by the way. Somebody just said that in chat, and I'm agreeing with them.
Totally.
If I could be a Granok dude, I'd take it in a second.
Yes.
Oh my god, have you guys seen some of the cosplay that people are doing based on WildStar?
No, I've only seen the Puppet Chua, and I saw one girl who did a Nesper costume, but I never saw anything else past that.
I tweeted a pic, I think it was yesterday. There was a guy that did a full Granok cosplay, and it was outstanding.
Yeah, it was. I think it actually was for when the last time WildStar was at like PAX, I think, or something. It was at a convention.
Yeah, it was
I remember seeing that a little while ago. It's awesome. The guy did a great job.
I think they need to bring that back. I know last year they had the PAX costume party. I think it'd be really cool if they did it again for another convention. See more costumes. That'd be fun.
I think after the episode, I'm going to go through Doom Kitty's tweets and find that. But for now, we have another core article to talk about.
Wait, just one more thing.
Okay.
I think if that does happen, I will totally cosplay the booty short track runner, Granok.
Oh my god, we're going to hold you to that because you just said it.
Is Katium in chat? Yes, Katium in chat. Katium, you heard Doc say that just now, right? Can that give us some kind of like, priority for this to happen, please? Because
get that recorded and put on a loop.
It's recorded.
Actually, interestingly enough, Katium brings up a good point. She says, "Don't quote me on this, but I think if we had cigars and etc., we'd also have to have a use of tobacco on the rating," which is true. I mean, they already technically have it because of use of alcohol and tobacco because of the Granok's drink. It's part of the culture.
I like how she said, "Don't quote me on this," and you quoted what she said.
Well, basically she's saying it's not official, but it makes very good sense. Forget you guys.
That's so funny.
Next on WildStar Core, Kelzam also put up a guide to contracts.
Yes.
Oh my god, Vapor Cigar. That's hilarious.
Vapor Cigar.
And we did go over contracts a while back. I remember going through a few of them myself. And just to reiterate how the contract system is going to work, it's like side questing. It's completely voluntary. It's completely not obligatory, but the rewards are supposed to be worth it. What's going to be you're going to be rewarded with stuff like Protostar, Runic, fragments. You can trade between the various NPCs and across all the contract boards for different fragment pouches, and that also includes PvE and PvP. You can only take a few contracts at any given time, like level 1 contracts that are mostly dailies. You can take up a few of them. But you can only say like level 2 contracts. You can only take 2 contracts a day, 1 level 3 contract a day, etc., etc. The reason being is that contracts are bigger challenges. I mean, you can't say challenges in this game because we already have challenges. They're bigger bounties, I guess I'll say. They're not tied to anything specific other than its own goal, its own contract, obviously, and it's made to make you go out of your way to accomplish more. So what if you can accomplish those level 3, 4, 5, 6, and level 4, 5, and 6 are sometimes tied to 5-man, 10-man, 20-man quests, you'll be rewarded thusly with some hopefully really, really cool stuff. And like I said, in order to get contracts, all you gotta find is a Protostar contract dispenser, pick up the contracts you want, and then from there go out and go do them. And then you can come back when the time expire runs out, and then pick it up again.
Good times.
Oh, I can't.
It's just
wait.
pretty.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's another way to go through the game. Completely, like you're able to, you're not solely tied to just questing. Like you can actually pick that up on your questing and take care of all of that, and it's supposed to help you out with leveling and the alternate advancement that all the players want, or at least a lot of players have been asking for. So, yes.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I even like the little UI stuff they did for it. They added some more UI, some nice cool UI stuff. I've noticed that as we've gone through more and more drops, the UIs that have been coming out are nicer and nicer.
Oh yeah.
Than what we got at launch.
I mean, but that's how all MMOs progress. I mean, if you look at when World of Warcraft originally came out, and then like what World of Warcraft looks like now, like you wouldn't recognize the same game like at all. It's really different, you know.
Yeah.
And it's because they're improving, they're hearing feedback from their audience and seeing what they want, the direction that they want them to take, And at the end of the day, we're their clientele, and they want to make us happy. So they go, if UI is an issue, and it's not clean, or it's not sexy, and it's not what we exactly want or asking for, then they're going to fix that. That's their job as a company, is to try to make sure that we're getting what we want. I mean, if you look at the challenges UI, that looks really sexy too. If you guys have seen that on the Drop 5, you guys should check it out.
Yeah, but the difference being is that a game like World of Warcraft will wait until a giant patch and then offload all of it. This has kind of been more of a steady stream. Like, we saw the challenge UI got revamped, like you just said, the new contract stuff, the UI stuff for that stuff. And Anieki, I believe I'm saying that right, in chat says, how are contracts different from dailies? I just don't see it. The best way that I can explain it, I don't know if you guys want to chime in on this as well, is that the dailies are tied to a specific zone, and they're also part of the progression of that zone. They're tied to your reputation points. They're tied to the items you can get from the vendors. They're all centered in a zone. Contracts are going to take you either in a general area or across multiple areas, depending on the contract, or they'll send you out. So basically, think of it like a bounty hunter board, which is what it really is. The contracts is just what they are. They're going to send you to either one area, or they're going to have you as a chain of it. Something really, really simple, like kill augmented creatures. So you can do that across Northern Wastes and the Blighthaven and everything else. Or it might say, even though you're here in this area, if you can take down this thing for X reason, whatever the contract says, it'll to actually send you over to like Blighthaven and go take out Scorchwing again for something else.
And it's also
specifically tied to that.
Like, the content in the contract is way different than what a content in a daily would be. Like, a daily would be go to X location and kill X mob, whereas a contract is, and I'm just reading the two examples that are on the core article, earn 1,500 renown, which you could do across every zone in the game, or get 20 player kills or assists. You could do that anywhere. Like, it doesn't specifically fit a zone. It doesn't specifically tie to the story. It's just kind of like, hey, go accomplish these tasks. We bet you can't do it. Nana nana boo boo.
Pretty much. It's more like dangling the carrot in your face, going, huh?
It's more akin to a challenge to me than it is a daily zone or a daily quest.
And is it just me, or from what I've come to understand, is it takes you it's multiple quests, and it's a whole quest line that gets you through a single section. Like, so if you look at the PvP and PvE contracts, so it will give you a task, and if you notice on the right-hand side, it's kind of like a progress bar as you continue through it, and it shows you points in which you get your rewards for doing said things. So it's not like, I'm doing this one quest, going to the next quest. It's saying, hey, this is how close you are to reaching that, or this is how many player kills that you've gotten in arenas, and you're 2 away, and you get a reward at this point, which you will then be given your next section of that. I do think it's quite different. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see how well it fits in with the world and how well it fits in with, general questing. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I
don't expect it to be a one-off like a daily.
Yeah.
And Katie makes a good point. Some of the quests are designed so that you can do them while doing other quests. So
multitasking.
Kind of like, a way to multitask, kind of like increase the reward that you're getting from a specific amount of time you're spending in the game. I think there are a lot of differences between contracts and the current goals that are in WildStar, whether it's challenges or quests or whatever. Yeah. I think it's a good system, and I'm looking forward to playing it on live.
There is one caveat I'm interested in, though. Cloud says the same thing. He says, just to make sure, if you reach the highest reward, do you have to start over again, or can you no longer do contracts? I'm going to assume each level has a list of quests that it goes through, and I'm pretty sure eventually someone's going to hit the bottom and they're going to start repeating them. But these aren't typical daily quest stuff. You are going to have to do them over the long haul. Like, no one kills 50 dreg in an area. You can do it over multiple zones, but it's just never... you can't knock that out in a day unless you're a madman or madwoman and you're just constantly killing every dreg you see in sight. That's something that takes a few days, at least 1 to 2 days of just normal questing to do. So it's supposed to help supplement your leveling and like we said, a challenge.
They're more like weeklies than dailies.
Kind of. Some of them. And they're long enough to be, almost.
Yeah.
Can we go on to the next thing? Because I think it's hilarious.
Yes.
Sure.
So let's move on to this. And we've talked about Dat Pink Dough, and we thought it was all myth. And apparently Dat Pink Dough exist.
Wow, really?
Just so much, you just ruined it completely.
Wait, what?
So
Enigma, the world first in killing Avitus, is now also the first guild in the world to grab an artifact weapon. They do exist out in the wild. Their drop rate is low, which is supposed to be. But we finally seen one in the wild with an epic preview of it. It's
so
monstrous.
good.
It's the bask in the glory that is the pink
Oh my
weapon.
god!
Look at these stats. These stats are nuts,
What
crazy
the hell
nuts.
is that?
So this is Project Legacy. This is the Executioner. So this is the DPS Warrior Sword. And it's got 6 Omni slots.
It's got all kinds of stats.
Oh,
It's got stacks on stacks of stats.
And just look at the imbuements. I mean, there's the obvious one. Certification, get gold medals in veteran dungeons. You get another 25 grit for that. This one of them was the hidden files. You have to do a bunch of different challenges that give you an extra 50 critical strike rating or severity. And then there's even like a little bit is just it's just what's it called? Vague enough where unless you're in Datascape you don't quite understand what it means. But just look at the bonuses. Jesus Christ. And also that character preview is just it's just gorgeous.
I know that picture is pretty epic right there.
I hope it changes your character every time you do that.
Best MS Paint ever.
Right? Look at this. Look at him go. Look at him being all cool.
Can you imagine those AoE tornadoes? Just spin to win in that cape.
Ugh.
We need capes in WildStar. That's what we need.
Ugh, so good.
That'd be great.
I would kind of
So
be down
pink
with
is
capes.
real. It's for real.
The pink
The
is
pink
real.
is real.
Also, look at the rest of his gear. It's just like, mostly orange.
He's just that awesome. That's why. Campbell Soup.
But that pic right there with the red cape, that's pretty epic.
Can we get capes, please? I mean, we don't need a whole lot of capes. It could be like some really cool energy shields that get the cape.
No capes. No capes.
Why not?
Although
No capes!
that would make costuming so much fun. I've been dying to get enough people together to do a Nexus Justice League.
See?
Kitty dressed as Wonder Woman. So we need some more people on board with that. We just did the NBD List Gala on April 25th.
Yes, we did.
We did, and one of the winners was dressed as the Joker. Mordesh, named Sugoi Desu.
Yeah,
It was fantastic. But yeah, I would love to see some more group costumes. Just people randomly running around as Scooby-Doo. And the Justice League or the Avengers, because it can happen.
Okay, now I kind of want to chew a Edna mode.
Yes. Yes.
With like a random Incredibles group running around.
Yes. No capes.
No capes! Okay, let's move on from that because that was pretty fun. So, everybody else, by the time Drop 5, Invasion Nexus comes around, Season 1 of PvP is over. Dunzo. That's it. We are moving on and upward to Season 1.5.
What does that even mean?
So they kind of explain it a little bit. There's an official post from Meerkat, and I'm going to do a lot of direct quoting from this. And he's saying, hey, greetings PvP fans, Steven Meerkat Angle here. I wanted to give you some Invasion Nexus PvP season update stuff. With the upcoming patch, Invasion Nexus will be clearing personal and team ratings. Players who have reached the upper echelon of rankings will earn the title The Warlike for rated arenas and The Warforged for rated battlegrounds. The cutoff for titles is set at the following personal ratings for each bracket, they list for North America and EU, and approximately represents the top 1% of all players in each bracket. Please note, these are personal ratings, not team ratings. So, some people will cry foul for that because they'll say, oh, we had this issue with blah, 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 and this blah, 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 and win trading, all that kind of stuff. In order to be eligible for your title, your personal rating needs to be in the specific bracket. That needs to be equal or greater than. We will be determining which players are eligible for titles when the servers come down for the Invasion Nexus updates. Mm-hmm. So maybe not all the people talking about the win traders and everything else. That might come back to bite them in the ass. The plan is to award titles by the same time the servers come back up, but they may end up being delivered within the next week's maintenance if issues arise. And also, the reason why I said Season 1.5 is Invasion Nexus will also mark the start of Season 1.5. It's a short, one-drop season that will allow us the time necessary to test all the changes they've made and iterate based on feedback. So everything since Drop 3, they've been taking notes on, they've been taking feedback on, And instead of dropping right into season 2 and saying, here we go at it, have fun, and everyone's going, oh my god, why is everything broken? Invasion Nexus will be kind of post-season, pre-season for PvP. So all these changes to the rated battlegrounds, the way you're acquiring gear, all this other crazy stuff, they want to make sure that that rolls out as smooth as possible into season 2. So that's why we mean season 1.5. So there's stuff coming in the following updates, like they're changing all of the item levels in PvP. Remember, they're making all of the orange gear, purple gear that's of a certain powerful PvE level. It's going to be scaled down. The reason being is they want PvPers who spent the time and investment in PvP to show and really perform at their height, instead of just someone walking in with a freaking full set of raid gear and going, ha, I'm going to just kill you all. Give me my gear, and I'll walk away. On top of that,
that's going to help
MMOs.
a lot. That is totally going to help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of it. I know people have been talking about saying, these are changes that were sorely needed, and they're excited for it. I know there's more to be improved on. I'd love to get some more PvPers who know more than we do about it, like Eclipse. I know if Bazil's back in, see what his stuff is. People from Like Gangsters. We'd love to hear from those opinions and see what you guys think about it.
Yeah.
With the second update, the way they're going to handle ratings, players and teams now have a rating of zip, zilch, 0 at the start of the season, and cannot lose rating until they're above 400. 400 serves as the ground floor, and it prevents players from removing enough rating. So basically, everyone starts at 0, you start from the bottom, and then you'll end up at the top. Once you get to 400, that is like the baseline. You are just barely good enough.
So you started from the bottom, now you're here?
I've tried not to use that line.
I hate rap so much.
They've added floors to other rating milestones at 800, 1200, 1600, and 2000, which means that once you go over that threshold, you can't go below it. So once you've gotten the 400, that's the first threshold. You can only climb up, and you can climb down between 400 and 800, but you'll never dip below 400.
Right.
Once you get to 800, you can only climb up from there, but you will never be able to go down. Basically, it's a way of helping players that kind of hit this plateau where they aren't being completely penalized because they're still trying to figure out where they need to continue their game, but they'll still be able to be competitive. If that makes any sense.
I also think it kind of not solves, but helps the issue with win traders and people that specifically tank their score extremely low. So that they can, you know what I mean? So it's like...
and this is a great fix for that. Like, you're an 1800 player, okay, great. You can't go below 1600. Like, you're going to still be fighting people that have a chance. You can't tank yourself and go fight people that have 0 rating, for example. Don't be
and then the third update, we're talking about rewards for end of season. There's a little more about that, not much, though. But for Season 2...
Well, I think this is really important. Beginning in Season 1.5, only 3's arenas will be rewarded with items, titles, and achievements. I think that's kind of an important distinction to make.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're having so much issue with 2v2.
Which means that most of their...
They just don't want to balance around those other numbers, maybe?
Yeah, because, you're sitting there in 3v3 and above, it's balanced, but everyone's complaining about 2v2 because you're sitting there with, a warrior medic, and you're sitting there and watching the warrior, be able to take a massive amount of damage and deal a whole bunch of damage, and the medic's just sitting back there going, I'm just going to heal you. And it's because it's not made for that. 3v3, everyone can circle around the medic and take the medic out, but when you're doing 2v2, it's really difficult to focus the medic.
I think it also shows that Carbine believes that for a competitive scene to form, that 3s is going to be that competitive scene. It allows enough flexibility in team compositions to keep whatever kind of meta the teams create alive and flourishing, but it also it allows more people to be competitive. 5s are great, but it's like running dungeons. I mean, there's so much chaos going around. 2s, obviously, there are some compositions based on balancing that will be more difficult to beat. 3s seem to be that great swing spot.
I think it's really easy for 2s to have flavor of the month. Like, okay, these 2 classes are OP. So, you can't win against these 2 classes because this month these classes got adjusted incorrectly. But in 3s, I think it's a little easier to okay, that class is OP. They have that class. We need to focus. Time to kill when 3 people are attacking you at once is short. So, I mean, it's really easy to kind of like focus one dude down because he's the OP one, and then kind of like deal with the rest of the team. That's kind of my assessment of that whole reasoning behind it.
Yeah. You also are able to get your purple gear in Season 2 for 3s, and you can turn them into legendary orange gear through imbuement unlocks, and you get a weird hedgehog, scorpion, monkey thingy. It's a pet.
Boom. That.
I don't know what to call that
is.
The razor tail.
Whatever the fuck
Razor
that
tail.
is.
There we go.
Yeah.
I never look at a razor tail long enough because they're always dead, but...
Yeah, I don't
they're
look at them long
hideous.
enough because they're covered in my particle effects. That sounded dirty and didn't mean
Yeah,
it.
we get one of those.
Just face, neck, and chest, all wubs everywhere.
Right?
No, it's that, and I think we get a Yeti. Is the second PvP prestige reward pet?
Yes. I think so. I think you're right. I saw those in the pet vendor. They're
On the
pretty cool.
PTR, I have all the pets I can get my hands on.
I think that's what we all did. Everything you could possibly do, you're like, yes, mine, give me. Annie Eki also says in chat, talking about PvP, what are the plans to revive PvP servers? Unfortunately, we don't know as players. Server issues are much different from a certain aspect of the game. That's based all on population. I sorely miss in the PvP server, but it's hard to get back there because of the population. It's
It's a
100%
100% a population situation. So the more people we get to go onto the game and get interested into the game, the more likely the PvP server will revive. The issue is that I don't know if it ever can be because we are a part of a mega server. The thing is that as the server gets larger and larger and more people start joining the game, they're going to go to the server that's got more population to it. And since we can forever expand larger and larger and larger, there's no reason to go to the PvP server unless you are specifically wanting PvP, which is great. But the problem is that everything you can do on a PvP server, you can do on a PvE server. Except for gank people that aren't prepared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't surprise people. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So whether it's going to be revived or not is it sucks because we started on a PvP server and we all really loved leveling on a PvP server and running around. And Crew tells the story last night, in fact, about him killing a higher level character than him.
Level 50 Spellslinger with my level 28 Esper.
For the AFK?
No. Rude? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you be rude?
Hey, we're asking the obvious question.
I hate you guys. I'm going AFK right now.
And to reiterate, because there was a little bit of confusion in chat, the rewards talking about in these bags are only for participation and winning in the top 5% of 3's PvP. The purple gear and the razor tail, the Yeti are still available to everybody else, but instead of getting them as items in your bag, you will have to buy them with prestige. So that's pretty much how it works.
Which is so nice because
Which is good.
It gives you one more thing to buy. Because when you've bought all the gear that you want for people that really get a lot of enjoyment out of PvP and do it all the time, it gives them more stuff to buy with their prestige.
Yep. The gold sink. It's beautiful.
If I can
Yes,
hop back
it is.
to the PvE/PvP conversation for one more second.
Yeah, sure.
Someone in chat mentioned that they were missing World PvP. And I haven't really been missing it that much. Like, when I'm in the mood for World PvP, I just flick the little thing on, the little flag in the PvE server that allows me to say that I'm ready for PvP. And it happens. Like, not never, but rarely is the situation where I'm running around with that flag turned on and people aren't trying to kill me. So I haven't really noticed a difference except for the fact that I can be like, I really want to get to level 50 and I don't want someone to kill me while I'm doing it. So I'm not going to turn that on. That's pretty much the only difference in my head. But, I mean, everybody's experience is different, I'm sure. And I think it would be nice for people that are, like, into the danger of PvP servers to have that back. Are you raising your hand? Go.
Yeah, I agree. That's me.
Sure. The danger.
I like having that thrill.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could not handle that. I'd have a panic attack. Hiding in a bush.
The reason why I like that thrill in WildStar, as say to other games like that have PvP servers like World of Warcraft, is in World of Warcraft. I remember leveling with I remember living with my ex-wife. We were leveling hunters, and this fucking rogue came up and would just camp us for half an hour. We can't fucking do anything. We can't fight back. Numbers and tab targeting, we're done. We're smoked. That's it. We just res and res and res hop to a guard. There are issues with the guards being too strong, I do believe, in WildStar, but when you're out in World PvP, even, like you said, level 28 versus level 50, you have a fighting chance. Like, and when you do go down in World PvP and WildStar, you don't feel like you just got your shit kicked in. You feel like, I mean, if you fought back, you at least felt like you had a fighting chance. And yeah, they killed you because they were level 50 and you were level 25, but you had at least a sense of pride in your loss, and you were like, yeah, no, I gave him what for.
You can get away. Like, if I'm getting like ganked by people of a ridiculously higher level than me, excuse me, and they're like camping, oh my god, the thing you res at Holocrypt. They're camping a Holocrypt. Stop shaking your head. You forget names of things all the time, you dick. Indigo's being a dick, everybody.
He really is. What's different? But
now you threw me off.
I will turn this car around right now.
Oh,
I can. You guys see that Zeus?
I can
We're playing WildStar, all right? Zeus is not in the game.
Shut up. I mistake characters in Smite on a regular basis. I'll be like, hey, Zeus is killing me, and then Indigo will be like, Zeus isn't playing this round. And I'll just be like,
Zeus? That's a spell slinger.
So I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I can respec to escape. So I, for example, like with just put all my movement abilities, all my healing abilities, and all my stuns on my bar, and I can get wherever I need to go. Like, it's not a problem. Even if it's like 5 level 50s chasing me. Just stun, blink, heal, run, sprint, dash. It's not difficult.
What's your guys' thought about what Arturo OG was saying, which is, why don't, his opinion was, his or her, sorry, that you should just kill the PvP server as a whole. And because it's a big red flag for newcomers if they accidentally go to the PvP or like, oh yeah, I want to do PvP and there's no one there. That's a huge red flag. The second thing the other thing he was suggested was that PvP zones within zones. So for example, having areas on the map that automatically flag you for PvP. You can go in there, and if you level in that area, you get higher experience and you get better loot. But you have always the chance of getting ganked. But you can still level without going into those zones. So people who want to just stick in the PvE world don't have to go into those zones. The other suggestion that I want to make is make all daily zones PvP only.
Ooh, see, my problem is
I would cut you for that.
I was gonna say that. I'm a Doom Kitty on that one.
However,
I'm into it.
The first part of that was spot on. Kill the PvP servers. I mean, they're already dead, and it really reflects poorly on a fantastic game. When people are trying the game for the first time, they don't really know anybody else, so they just wander off to a PvP server and go, "Hey, I'm here to play with everybody. I heard all about this," and then there's just tumbleweed.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some implementation concerns for stuff like that. Like Moose said, as long as there's a message that says you'll be flagged and like stuff like that would need to happen.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. But the idea of PvP zones.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And with the one stipulation I want to make is they leave the flag system, the current flag system, in the game. So that I can still say, I want a PvP wherever I want a PvP, and leave that option open. But then also have the, come to the zone and like get like 2 times more money and slightly better gear, and people can kill you. I think that's a great idea.
When you roll in a PvP server, you know what to expect. That's true. I unfortunately do think that it might be time to look into rolling both servers together and doing exactly what Arturo's, or something similar to that. Arturo's OG's suggestion, I think is actually pretty smart, and combining that with Indigo's suggestion of making the daily zones not 100% PvP, because if we've noticed that the PvP zones are kind of cordoned off, where you have general Dominion questing, general Exile questing. You don't go there unless you're going for a specific ganking reason. But then there's this weird middle ground that pops up here and there. And when you go in there, you go, hey, your flag will be up in 1 minute. Because if you're in daily questing, give it like that much time. You can do a quest in a minute, roughly. Once it's up, your flag goes up, and obviously you have a 30-second grace period if you do die.
Maybe they make the whole daily zone like a PvP zone, but then give you a super long grace period after you die like twice. So you die once, you get 30 seconds of grace period. You die twice, you get like 10 minutes of grace period, and you can just like go do whatever you want. But after 10 minutes, you're flagged again.
Or they could just not make the daily zones all PvP.
Yeah.
What's that?
Like, Dude Kitty don't want. Dude Kitty doesn't care.
Like, no,
oh my god, no. You see, Let me tell you something about PvP. Okay, I am so unbelievably bad at PvP. When the other team sees me coming, they send a thank you card and a muffin basket. So I do love the idea of PvP being in a separate zone. So people that choose to partake in that, they're like, yeah, I want to go get my PvP on, and they can go and do that. And then the rest of us that would normally just like scream and hide in a bush somewhere for 10 minutes. Like, is he gone yet?
Well,
Are they done?
and UDK makes a good
Remember
point.
time zones in the PvP server where people were like, hey guys, are the exiles on?
No.
Everybody starts requesting as fast as you can.
So UDK made a good point. The people pushing for PvP are those that want to gank, and the PvE players don't want to be ganked. So it's like, he's right. You can't really make the whole zone PvP.
I have an idea on that, actually.
Got my 3-letter acronyms mixed up. You can't make the whole PvP zone PvE. You can't make the whole shit, dude. Oh! These acronyms. You know what I'm trying to say, right? You can't do the whole thing to the other thing, because then those people will be mad at the first people. Duh, guys.
But here's what I'm thinking. When you first say something, this is all pure speculation, and it needs to be tuned up if someone took it and ran with it. But when you're going into this cross-faction area, instead of automatically flagging you, have an optional quest pop up in like red text instead of normal green text, and be like kill orders or something. And kill orders, if you do activate it, will give you a massive buff to your experience and your gold and your reputation, at the cost of flagging you for PvP for the duration of your stay.
Do you guys remember that game that was run through a website, and basically they'd send you like real world information about another individual, and you'd have to stalk them and like learn their schedule, and then
oh my god, I remember that.
Right? I don't remember what it was called.
In my old city.
Yeah. I mean, I never saw it happen, but
oh my god,
I heard a lot about it for like a month.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I don't know what it is, but I know Star Wars Galaxy had the bounty system.
Yeah, and then that's basically what it was. Like, you'd get a bounty on one person, and so you just have to like find and kill that one person, and if they killed you, like something weird happened. I think that would be an interesting idea. Just have it be like, instead of open world PvP you can gank anyone, just give yourself one target, and you'd have to like submit a request to be a part of that like kind of mini PvP game per zone. I think that'd be interesting.
And obviously there are weird things people can game the system like that. But
so I wanted to, chat's going through and they're going over a lot of this stuff. So if we added the PvP zones within the PvP world, kill the PvP server and do that, and add this long-term or this, hey, you're flagged for PvP in 20 seconds if you stay in this zone, would be extremely helpful. Now, the problem that they're saying is, PvP people want to gank PvE players, or PvP players want to just gank people. And that's not true. I like PvP, and I would love to be on a PvP server, and it has nothing to do with ganking someone. I mean, because a lot of the times we would team up with them to the opposite team to kill a big mob or something like that. But the whole reason for a PvP server is that it adds excitement and it adds a whole different level. Yeah, you can go into battlegrounds and yeah, you can go into arenas, but it's not the same thing when you're fighting on top of a giant pillar in the middle of one of the zones that that you could fall off. Like, there's so much to it that in open world PvP that makes it really, really exciting, really, really fun. And that's the problem I have with people saying, oh, well, if you just want to do PvP, just go over there and do your thing over there and leave my... No, I mean, that doesn't make sense for the storyline. That doesn't make sense for gameplay style. Like, that's just... You have to clearly have notified zones, of course. You would say, you would have a rift in the middle where it's like, okay, hey guys, this is a battle zone. You guys, you're all on your own if you want to go in there. It wouldn't just be like splotch. Hey, by the way, you're in a PvP zone. You're like, oh shit, and you'd run away.
As long as it's not a zone that you have to go to in order to complete part of the PvE quest or whatever part of the PvE experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I think that makes sense.
But what A49 was saying, the randomness is what makes open world PvP so much fun. Absolutely. That's what adds the thrill and the excitement of, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do my stuff, but then I could get shanked.
Yeah.
If
And
I'm
see,
not-
that's why I think the little bounty system would be great, because then you could be anywhere and somebody could just come out and be like, "You're my target." Stab, 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 stab.
It was kind of
Here's the
what
thing.
we thought the grudge system was going to be like.
Oh, what was it, Nemesis? What was that thing
The
called that
Nemesis
no
system,
one
yeah.
would ever uses, as far as I'm aware,
Is
because it
even
doesn't
still in
do
the game?
anything. I don't know. Probably not. Hopefully not. It's worthless.
Here's what I think would be awesome. To merge the bounty system into the world PvP. Say you walk into the world PvP zone, and you are killed, or you're starting to notice that one character is claiming multiple ganking kills. That player then gets a bounty mark on them
Ooh.
that increases every gank they make,
Ooh.
and slows down like by 1%, 2%, 3%,
Or just
and also
increases
adds
the
to-
reward from killing them.
and increases the reward for killing
Yeah.
them. So you're sitting there as a PvEer, and you're watching this PvP player ganking people outside, and you're like, "What's that mark on his head? Oh, that's a 25% prestige and gold experience if I kill him."
Oh yeah, that's when you grab your friends. You're like, okay, hold my beer.
Exactly, and that would be fun because if you kill a bounty, you are now the new bounty.
Wait, what's this? Hold on. I just got an email. Oh, we all just got job offers to design at Carbine. Everybody on the stream and everybody in chat. Guess what, guys? We're all gonna go work at Carbine.
We're gonna be millionaires.
Woohoo!
I just want to design the plushies. I'll be good.
You and Katie, I'm just all plushies all the time.
Oh, totally. I'm telling you, I'm waiting for them to come out, like get together with Mezco or a toy company. If we could get real life plushie toys based on the in-game ones, they can have all of my money, like right now. I keep like throwing my wallet at the screen, hoping it'll happen someday. Yeah, need the plushies. Just push the needle in.
So we've
I know we
been
talked
on
about
this
it for a little
topic.
bit.
Yeah.
One really, really quick thing, which is, guess what, guys? We can now have copies of our characters on PvP.
Woohoo!
PTR.
PTR. What did I say?
Acronym.
PvP. You said copies of our characters on PvP.
Too
That's
many
adorable.
acronyms that start with P.
I told you. And you were rubbing your head because I was mixing up PvP and PvE, and you mix up PvP and PTR, and it's just okay, whatever. Let's move on. Jerk.
So, yeah, you can make copies so you no longer have to spend hours sitting there at the Ven bot, sitting there going, hey, okay, wait, did I have this amp or did I have that? You can just literally copy and paste your character
And it's
over it.
way, way better for testing differences between PvP and... Oh my god, I did it again. Between PTR and live... I'm so sorry, guys. Between PTR and live, I remember a while ago reading one of Enigma's posts, I think. It was either Enigma or that medic, I. You guys know that medic from the forums? He's apparently a good medic. So they were chatting about how they wanted to compare stat differences between PTR and live, but there was no way for them to do that, and so what they had to do was go on live, take off all their gear except for a weapon, and then try to find a similar weapon on PTR, and then like test, and it was just kind of like kludgy and not good. And this is really easy. You just effing copy your character over, and then you have the exact same stats relative to the change in PTR. So it's awesome. I think it's great.
I was really because I love that idea, but I also love playing dress up with the raid gear that is so out of reach for me right now.
Yeah.
You will still be able to get all of that.
Oh yay! Okay, totally. Then that's good. Okay, I'm good. I can have my stats and I can go freak out and play dress up, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
It's just your own character. You don't have to sit there and rebuild into it. You're
I spent 3 hours just buying dyes so I could have all of them.
Wow. That's
That's because I'm
ridiculous.
committed.
So much gold.
So
No.
right
I just
there-
renown.
So
yeah.
right there is this week's news. What do you call it again, Doc?
Strange Tales of the Week? You're a drink. Wait, I wasn't
Strange
done. I
Tales of
want
the
one more thing. I was really hoping that we'd be able to report on a bug. I'm just going to upfront say that this does not exist, so don't go spreading rumors that this exists. I was really hoping they would have implemented the copy character thing backwards, so you can copy characters from PTR to live. That would have been the best bug ever. Ever.
Oh my
That
god,
would
is
have
there a
been
way
the-
to make that happen?
No. No, that's ridiculous. What are you coughing for?
Oh, what? I'm sorry, what?
What are you coughing
Moving
for?
on! I just want to add one more thing to the previous conversation. I just realized. No, stay with me. The bounty system tied with the contract. A contract that says you must kill 4 bounty marked characters as a
Oh,
little
that's
4
good.
bounty.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Tied
a special
together.
contract that just says you must kill Doc. Are
I'll
you
take that.
resuscitating yourself?
Down! No joke. Bring it on. Let's do it. Anyway, we have Doom Kitty here with us. We have a few minutes left. We want to talk to her a little bit, not just to bring her, not only to bring her on and get her opinion on stuff, but she helps run one of the most active guilds I've seen in many video games. It's crazy. The Black Dagger Society is almost synonymous now with, at least for a lot of players, with in-game events. And I, as a player, honestly, I thank all of you guys for all the time, the dedication you guys put into it, the man hours beyond whatever jobs you have. Thank you guys so very much for helping do all these awesome events.
Oh, it is absolutely our pleasure. It is so much fun to put all these on. Any MMO is only going to be really as good as the community that's in it. And from the very beginning, WildStar has had this spectacular community. I've never seen a community in an MMO that is so freaking joyful and happy to be there. People come in and they're like, oh, well, it seems so dead in the starting zones. This game is dead. There's nobody here. I'm like, wait. Hit level 14, go to housing. Then they go to housing, and there's like freaking cocktails thrown everywhere, parties all over the place. They're like, whoa, this is where everybody is.
Yep.
There's so much open-ended creative.
Waste all your imagination.
God, I hate you so
Housing
much.
here.
Why are you singing? Oh my
Because he's
god!
wearing the Frank Sinatra hat. That's why. Frank Sinatra made the Trilby awesome.
So, Doom,
It's so nice to see them come back. Every girl's
it's
crazy
so
about a
nice.
sharp-dressed man. Am I right?
Exactly.
Probably.
So I have to ask. I know some people have said that why doesn't Carbine take the lead on all this stuff? When you guys decided as Black Dagger to start doing more and more of these events, was it more of a standpoint of frustration, or you just really wanted to see the community come together more, or you just wanted to have cool events for yourselves and invite everybody else to come to the party?
Yeah, I'm pretty much my own party. So when I joined, I'm like the resident drag queen. I just run around going, "Oh my god, you look fabulous! What is that?" So it was just, it was just us really enjoying the game and the environment and the community, and just having this very kind of celebratory vibe all the time. Before I even joined, Daggers was already planning the first Thade Fest that happened back in October. And that was just them getting together and saying, hey, you guys are awesome, and we're awesome. Hey, let's do something awesome. We heard you like awesome, so we brought some. And then that was just a lot of fun, and people were having a great time. We've had people come up and tell us that they've had more fun in a week playing WildStar than they did in 8 years of playing WoW.
Wow.
But, you really can't compare the two, because the communities, the games are very different. The communities are extremely different. Yeah. It's not to say that one's better than the other, but, WildStar is a little bit better because we have great people here. And it's just been fantastic. The Nexus Best Dressed list, which I started a few months ago, was just something to do because I started noticing that people were putting a lot of time and effort into their costumes, and that there was just as much artistic expression in that as there was in the housing. Now, it's not everybody's got like tons of plot and crazy stuff to spend hours and hours on housing, but they can put together a fantastic outfit.
Right.
Or do costumes. Like you see mashups, there's Iron Man, and we've seen different anime characters, like just all kinds of cool stuff. Stormtroopers.
We saw Vast's
Vash the Stampede.
Yeah, we
really?
saw him. Yeah, it was really, really good.
My favorites have to be still the Magic Mike Spellslingers. They just randomly showed up in like their underwear and just started pew-pewing with rapid shot, and they're like, oh, this is amazing.
We also have a character named Jareth the Goblin King, who walks around looking exactly like Bowie in Labyrinth, and that's awesome. When I see them, it just fills me with joy. I'm like, oh my god, yay! So the Nexus Best Dressed list on Tumblr was just a fun, silly thing to do, just to say, oh my god, look at this fabulous outfit. And, here's what they're wearing. And, people choose to share that information. And here's what dye they used. And it just sort of kind of took off. And then we decided, like, hey, why not make a monthly fashion contest? Give out prizes, get people excited. Like, it's not just about housing. Housing is a cult in itself.
Oh, God,
which I'm happily a part of. But, costuming has its own thing. Let's shed a spotlight on that. It was also just before Drop 4. So a lot of people weren't. Everybody was holding their breath. Nobody was touching their houses for a while. And so we've had 3 NBD lists now. The next one will be in May. It'll be May 23rd, which is a Saturday. It is also, we're going to be incorporating it into our guild's next big public event, which is going to be our 1-year birthday party.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Yes, Black Dagger Society was formed on May 22nd, 2014. So we're coming up to our 1-year anniversary. We're really excited about that.
One of the few beta guilds left.
Yes. We were Avindra before everybody comes. So everybody who was on Avindra.
Hashtag remember Avindra.
Hashtag
Oh my
remember.
God, yes, the feels. The feels are real. So yeah, we're going to be doing it then. And we had some great prizes to give out. We gave out some cool dyes. We gave out customization stations. We gave out really unique pieces of gear to use as costumes. And then just straight up money.
Nice. I do like money.
Yeah, just straight up plat. Show up, do something fun. We have solo, group, and duo costumes. One of the first ones we had was just amazing. We had Varrock Darkoma, who's a Mordesh warrior dressed as the Lich King, and it was spot on.
That's cool.
And then Iron Ore, who is our Black Dagger's ambassador. Fantastic player, just all around wonderful person, helps out so many new players in the game, gets people really excited about it. He put on a suit and went up there as Tyrion Fordring, and the two of them had this epic battle on stage.
That's awesome.
And it was, oh my God, everybody was on their feet. All the judges were in TeamSpeak. They're cheering. It was amazing.
And see, that's like the great part of events like that is when everybody can kind of like get behind what's going on and like have the same level of energy. And it's like I mean, not that I raid, but I feel like that kind of energy is only next to the kind of energy you get when you are in a raid and you beat something that you've been pounding away at for a really long time. Everybody feels the exact same relief, the exact same excitement. And when you're at an event and people are all into what's happening at the event, that kind of same energy is what you feel. That sounded really, really, really cheesy, but I didn't mean for it to.
Well, the whole thing has been great. We've had QS Quantum State Radio comes out and streams music for the events. We have you guys. We have people that come out and be guest judges and everything. It's just been so fantastic, and we are super excited about the next one.
Nice. And
awesome.
Also in our chat, they actually put the link out for some of the pictures of the winners from the Nexus Best Dressed list.
Yes, Quillen is our
pretty cool
BDS member and our official kind of event photographer. Quill is an absolute deity when it comes to taking like amazing screenshots. So that's been Quill's official job. And the screenshots,
Mordesh hands down are perfect jokers.
I know, right? And Lich Kings.
And I'm just enamored looking at the pictures now.
I'm just
yeah, they're up on the stream.
Mordesh guys are just super hot.
Scrolling slowly through them.
Yes, do feel free to check those out. BDS is on Nook. We do have a public calendar of events, so anything that we're doing that is open to the server as a public event where people can just come out and join us, it will be listed there. My husband, who plays Myrick Reynolds, he's the one who built the BDS Central Convention Center where we hold the galas. Mm-hmm. He's been doing a weekly thing on Thursdays where we just basically kind of do a flash mob in different zones, where we just round up a whole bunch of daggers, and then we would just kind of go to a zone, scoop up everybody in the vicinity and say, hey, we're going to go kill this boss. You want to come? Anybody who's here, invite. Cool. We did that in Celestion. We went out there to a starting area, and all of a sudden these poor little like level 8s are running around like do. Everything's all quiet. Then it's like, bam! There's like 40 daggers there, and we're like, we're gonna go kill this world boss. You want to come with us? It's okay. You don't have to have gear. You just come and hang out and get credit and get a title. And we're like,
part of your attunement too.
It was so much fun, and people were like, oh my God, there's level 50s in the zone. Why is that? Well, because we're happy to be here. There's stuff to do. It's all relevant. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it so much fun and so embracing. Like, it doesn't matter what level you are, what your level of player eliteness is. Everybody can carve out their own little niche and have an absolute blast.
Nice. Sorry, I'm looking at all the links for all the Black Dagger stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Question for you.
Yes.
Do you have slots on Black Dagger? And if so, how can people join your guild? And what type of guild? Would you say it's more of a social, PvE, PvP?
We're definitely, we would consider ourselves a social, community-focused guild.
Mm-hmm.
We are not hardcore anything. We're not hardcore PvP, but we have PvP fans. We're not hardcore. We're not raiding. We're not raid progression, but we have people that are working up to that. We also have some retired hardcore raiders.
Okay.
That have kind of like taken it, like they're okay, I've been there, done that, taken a step back. Now they're helping new players learn the fights, help getting gear.
I like that.
It's been great. People come in, whether they're brand new to the game, whether they're brand new to MMOs, and they find their little kind of niche. It's basically like walking into somebody's house party. You've got different conversations in different rooms. Like you go in the living room and there's a big conversation about raiding. And then you go in the kitchen and everybody's talking about housing. And then in the back porch where everybody's smoking, they're talking PvP. And it's definitely that environment.
That's awesome.
It definitely has that feel. So if that's the kind of thing that people are looking for, they're welcome to go to badass.shivtr.com and check out our guild site. Or they can just go to Wildstar Online, to the community forums there, and find the guild recruitment thread. We are listed there as well, and they can read up our charter and see what we're all about. And if they decide that they want to hang out with a bunch of wackadoodles, then they're welcome to apply.
That is probably the greatest pitch for anything I've seen.
Yeah, that was a great guild pitch. That was like marketing genius.
I'm like, can I just leave my guild right now? I mean...
we do have people that bring tunes in just for the social aspect. They have raiding tunes in other guilds, but they're not always raiding. So they'll bring a tune in just to hang out with people that are social. They're like, my raiding guild, they're all business. They come on 3 days a week. We raid. They log out.
Really good question for you.
What's that?
Why did Black Dagger decide to go as a guild instead of a circle? Because I mean, circles would have been able to allow people to keep their own guilds and still come in a social aspect. But you guys have decided to go in a full-fledged guild. I'm just curious if there was a choice in that session, in that decision, or was it more like, well, we are a guild, so we'll just keep being a guild.
I think the GMs, married couple, Chestnut and Shade Stonebow, super awesome people. They ran guilds in previous games in MMOs. So when they moved to Wildstar on Avindra and they started up their guild, I think it was just out of kind of out of habit, like, okay, well, we've got our little small group of people, so let's create a guild. And then it just sort of like it grew from there. It was a very organic process, really.
So it's kind of just what they knew and what they were comfortable with doing, and so they just did it.
So works out just fine.
Yeah, we have everything. We have RPers. We got a lot of heavy duty RPer. RP people. We've got PvP fanatics that really enjoy that. We have people that have raided. We have people that are raiding. Then you've got people like me that are just like complete, cheerleaders that run around Thade telling everybody they look fabulous and throwing parties, and because that's my thing. That's what I get out of it. I enjoy that.
So somebody in chat wanted to know,
yes.
Are you guys an adult guild only?
We like to consider ourselves 18 and over, because we do have TeamSpeak, and it's really hard for us to try and, be liable for what's going on in TeamSpeak.
Sure. Yeah.
However, I mean, I don't have a huge amount of experience with MMOs, but the experience I do have, I've gamed with 14-year-olds that had more maturity than some 40-year-olds I know.
Right.
So it really depends on the player. I mean, if somebody is, 16 or 17, but they can handle themselves well, they carry themselves in a respectful and mature manner, then by all means we're going to embrace them just as much as anybody else.
Right, and that's what most, I think, social guilds tend to say is like, you can be your age as long as you don't
respectful and you're polite.
Right. Yeah. There's a difference between being a child and acting childish, essentially.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we can get blue, but we'll never outwardly be it's like, I like the line of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, we can be assholes, but we're 100% dicks.
Sure. Oh my God.
Why not? That makes total sense.
Okay, I gotta send that to Shade. That has to be our new guild motto.
That's why I love that movie so much. So we're gonna start winding it down a little here. We've been on the air for a little over an hour. And we're going to do one more social. We're going to do one more thing. And then we're going to wind down for the night. And we always have a post show. Come stick around for that. If not, we understand completely. But every week for the last 2 weeks, we've been giving away a box copy of WildStar Online that comes with a random code, a random chance to get the Glitter Kitty hoverboard, the Snarflinks mount, or the Marauder costume.
And they're awesome.
Yep. And we mix it up a little for week 3 and for week 4 because we had a lot of people outside of the live stream who wished to participate but weren't able to make it in live. So we set up a giveaway poll at the end of last podcast. We have hopefully closed down the poll.
Yes, we have closed down the poll. See? Queuetimes site closed. Boom!
Okay, So the question here is how are we going to announce this week's winner?
So I have that handled. So everybody that entered on the rules of the contest, it said to please include a valid email address because that is how we'll be contacting you if you're not in this stream to let you know that you won. That kind of brings up a little bit of a difficulty in that the person that we reach out to might not respond. And so the way we'll be handling that is if that happens, we'll just do 2 next week, or we'll do 1 extra week of giveaway depending on what we decide after the stream, if that happens.
Yeah.
But I have this screen, boom, and it has a pick the winners button. One more thing that I have to point out, and this is kind of Indigo's at work, so he's on the phone. You can ignore that. One more thing that I have to point out. I'm just going to do this until he comes back. Just going to boop. There you go. All right. Turn off his screen. One more thing that I have to mention is that some Queuetimes people that like write for us or do like content for us decided to enter. Those people can't win. So we kind of had that conversation today. If one of them does win, we'll just pick another winner right now. And
it's the only way to be fair.
Kind of go from there.
No,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's okay. I had more fun being here.
So if we're all ready, we will pick a random winner.
Wait,
Go for it, buddy.
Booking.
The tension is
Somebody
real.
named John. Yay!
Woo, John!
Yeah, only say the first name. You don't want the last name.
Yeah.
John,
It doesn't
we
do
will
that.
send, I know there's probably multiple Johns because it's a very common name.
Mm-hmm.
The email attached to it, we will email that email. And we will let you know. Please respond back as soon as you can. We'll be able to give you more information how you want to redeem your code. And at the end of this podcast, after probably the post-show stuff, we are going to set up the last and final giveaway code.
Yep.
This is week 4 coming up. It'll go up. We'll tweet it out. We will let you know if it comes up during stream that it's up during stream. You will have until
it'll be up tomorrow. That's what
it'll be up tomorrow. Okay.
The page is still there, so you can all tweet about it. But the page will just say the giveaway will be up tomorrow for the rest of today, if that makes sense.
That's Monday, May 4th. Monday, May 4th, the 4th and final giveaway will be starting. It'll end on May 10th, which is next week's podcast at 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It'll say it closes at midnight. Ignore that.
Yeah.
You have until 5 p.m. Pacific time on May 10th to get your entries in. And obviously, you have a valid email. We can tweet about it, and it's all that kind of stuff. In case, and just, we'll say it once again, John, if your first name is John, congratulations, you won. It sounds a little vague. We want to protect your privacy. We will email that specific email
Yep.
to you, and we'll get you that. So I like the tense. Like, John, who's John? Who's John?
Oh my God, John! What? I know John. Yay!
John knows.
Damn,
who
you, John!
So
I
everybody
want to-
named John, check your email.
Yeah. And even if your name isn't John and you may have put John down, look at your email.
You know, as a Canadian living in the U.S., I used to always hear that. Oh, you're Canadian? Do you know Bob? Like, of course I know Bob. Bob from Canada. Yes, everybody knows Bob from Canada. Like, what the hell?
So I actually wanted to
And that's
reiterate.
where we're getting this.
I want to reiterate something. Doc said that this was the last giveaway. Next week is the last giveaway. While it is the last giveaway for the box, it will not be Strange Tales and it will not be Queuetimes' last giveaway.
Oh, of course not.
So
No.
I just want you all to know that. So if you guys keep stay tuned, keep listening, keep visiting the site, we really appreciate it, guys. Seriously, thank you so much.
And that's our way of giving back.
And everyone that shows up for the shows, whether it's to listen to us and our cool, awesome guests we have once in a while, like Miss Doom Kitty here, or if you came just for the events and came for the giveaways, either way, thank you always for showing up.
Yeah.
We are Strange Tales from Outer Space, episode 43. I have with us one more time Indigo
Bye.
and Krug.
Bye.
And last but not least, our awesome special guest this week, Doom Kitty.
Stay fabulous, cupcakes.
And my name is Doug. Everyone out there, have a good time. We'll catch you later.